I'm saying this because like one of the hit features in Mantra is the what we call the Sculpt module, which is a smart EQ that basically takes your frequency response and matches it to references that we've designed internally. And by doing so, you can basically tame down the resonances of your room or basically correct the microphone that you're using. So in that regard, it's a very smart feature. And of course, you could do the same thing manually by creating notches in FabFilter Pro Q or something like this. But like here, you just hit play, record for 7 seconds, and you get like a pretty good outcome of it. And for these kind of features, like Mantra is super nice. You have a okay home studio, nasty resonances, you get this, it's fine. And then, yeah, I mean, you will all get the pros that will tell you that they prefer their full signal chain, full of analog gear, etc. We're not trying to convince that everybody that our stuff is better than what they're used to. But I think that for most people, you can get like 90% there just with Mantra on any, like, let's say, modern genre or contemporary genre.
Okay, let's go back to Sculpt for a second. So you say it's smart in that it takes a sample of the vocal and it compares it to what exactly? To is it to a table of other vocals that you think that sounds good?
Well, without being too technical, basically we do an analysis for like I think it's 7 seconds of a bit of audio that gets we get the average frequency response of these 7 seconds, and then in Mantra you have 12 different presets that you can choose from, which are target curves, and these have been designed using well basically a white noise through a bunch of different filters to get to ideal frequency responses. And then we match your 7 seconds of audio, like the frequency response, the average frequency response to this target. This is how it works. But on top of that, you have a compressor, or should I say like a spectral compressor, that will basically attenuate whatever is like above the target curve if it goes above a certain volume, which means that you can basically cancel the room modes. You can it can act as a de-esser. If the S's, the sibilances are too high compared to the target, then they will get reduced. And it also acts as some sort of a normalizer before hitting the rest of the chain. So if you think about it, it's like your fast track to polished vocals very, very fast. And it's located at the beginning of the chain because it does like all the leveling and the nice work before the rest of the chain.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is, I mean, there's a lot of smart equalizers, for instance, and what they'll do is they'll have a table of what is considered the best sounding guitar, for instance, and they do 100 of them, and okay, this is the best sounding one, so let's make your guitar sound just like this. But that doesn't work in mixing because it's how it fits with the rest of the track that's important. Now,
Absolutely.
that being said, the way you're doing it makes a lot more sense. And I have a story about this. So I did an album with, I was a producer. I did an album with Ken Scott, the great engineer producer, did David Bowie and the Beatles, and he would always use the same microphones, and he would always have the same EQ on the same microphones. And I was wondering, okay, why is he doing this? So one day we have a drum track and we need a second set of drums, just, a different drum sound. So he pulls the first drums out, puts the second one in, doesn't change anything at all, doesn't change the EQ, and it sounded great. And it occurred to me, he was EQing the microphone, not the drum sound. It's like, well, that's pretty brilliant. Actually, that's the right way to do it when it's all said and done. And not many approach things that way. But you're closer to that than most smart EQs, for instance.
I mean, yeah, that's if you think about it, yeah, he was EQing the microphone and probably the resonances of the room at the same time.
Yes.
And that was kind of the approach with Mantra, like remove the resonances, remove the annoying bits, and then later on in the chain, you have another EQ that you can use to color the sound a little bit more. You'll get compression, you'll get saturation. But like this Sculpt module is just, it's a problem solver for EQ and compression, basically.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Makes sense.